Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for our bonus content video for November. This bonus content is going to go over how to create a pin that you can attach your Flanders Poppy to your lapel or your bag or anything like that to celebrate Remembrance Day. So I do want to first thank Susan for finishing off the stem and showing us how to do this cool foliage. So it turns out really pretty once you have it all done, and it'll be really cute if you get a whole bunch done and put them all together. So we move that out of the way and we'll get started. So for the poppy, I went ahead and cut off the stem wire. So I have kind of this flat bottom on the flower. If you intend to turn this into a pin, you may want to make your center, the clay center, a little bit shorter. Maybe do like about that much, which is maybe about 3/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch tall, and then make it more like the shape of an acorn, and then attach your fringe to the base of that. You can still add a wire just to give you something to hold on to while you attach everything, and then you can just lop the wire off when you're done, when you go to make the pin. So I've got this. It's got a relatively kind of flat base. It's a little rounded, but we'll make it work. And then I have a bar pin piece that I'm going to add. So that's the back of it. This is the front. And then I have a piece of felt that I've cut into a 1 1/4 inch circle. And then I've got my handy hot glue gun. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually take this bar pin, and the ones I could find that were the 1.5 inch long have this extra adhesive, like padding tape on it. I don't want to use that because the adhesive is not very strong and it's not going to hold the paper for very long. So I'm actually just going to rip that off. So now I have a plastic bar that I can put my hot glue onto. So I'm going to do that first. I'll take my hot glue and my pin. I'm going to scooch this out of the way. And I'm just going to do a line of hot glue along the plastic bar. And then flip my flower over to the back and slap that on. And then if I really want to, I kind of push the petals back a little bit to get those to adhere so they're a little bit more stuck, and then we can open the flower up more so it's more flat, like that. So it's more of a flat round flower with the center sticking out. And we're just going to hold that for a few seconds for it to cool so it'll stay. Flip up my stamen again, and I'll probably have to do this a couple more times as I go through and finish this off, but there's not much left to do. So then I'm going to open up my pin. So now we have just the flat metal part, and this is where we're going to add our felt to finish that off. So now I'm going to take my hot glue and do a circle of hot glue around the felt and a little in the center. And then I'm just going to stick that, move it over a little bit, and then just stick that on. And then press it down onto the pin and onto the petals so it gets nice and stuck down, and you have kind of a softer base on the pin. And this also gives the larger petals something to grab onto so those stay flatter. right, and then once that's all cool, you can close up your pin and you're all set and good to go. If you wanted to use a smaller barb pin so you don't have the flower as flat, you can definitely do that. You could also scale the flower down if you wanted to have one that wasn't quite as large. So you can scale it down by half and do a 1 inch by 1 inch square to start for the smaller petals, and then a 1 inch by 1.5 inch for the wider petals. And then scale the black down to size for that as well. So you could definitely do that if you wanted to do a smaller flower. This one, once it's kind of all flattened out and on the pin, is probably about 4 inches wide, which is pretty big. But you know, depending on what you're going to be putting it on, that shouldn't matter. But yeah, so that's how you do the pin for the poppy. And I hope to see your projects, whether it's a finished stem or a pin. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day.